स्वागत. सुधागड एज्युकेशन सोसायटीचे K.A.Banthiya माध्यमिक विद्यालय व NN पालीवाला ज्युनियर कॉलेज नवीन पनवेल सादर करीत आहे शैक्षणिक व्हिडिओ.
Good morning students. In the previous period, in this topic basic concepts in geometry, we have already studied some definitions and their properties like line segment, ray, then congruent segment, properties of congruent segment, midpoint of line segment, then comparison between the segments and the perpendicularity of the line segment and rays. Now today we are going to study the last topic of this chapter, that is conditional statement and their converse, which is very important for the examination point of view as well as 10th standard. When you go into 10th standard, there are so many definitions for your study, so you remember what is meant by conditional statement and what is its converse. So first of all we study the conditional statement, that is the statement, the definition of that conditional statement. The statement which can be written if then form are called the conditional statement. It means that we have given a statement when we use if as well as then, these two words in the statement, then this statement is called the conditional statement. So the definition of conditional statement is that the statement which can be written in if then form are called conditional statements. So we can see what is the conditional statement in the next example. First of all, we see here the part of the statement following if. It means that the first part of the statement, conditional statement, which is followed by if, is called antecedent. You remember these both the words, antecedent and consequent. What is meant by antecedent? So the part of the statement following if is called antecedent, and the part following then is called the consequent. This is word consequent. Consequent, it means that the next sentence. Each and every conditional statement, there are two statements, two sentences. First one is containing if and second one is containing then. So when the statement is written if then form, then we say this is the conditional statement. For that, for your understanding, you remember the example. Consider a statement. Suppose you have given a statement. See here, the diagonal of rectangle are congruent. This is the simple statement. What is simple statement? So the diagonal of rectangle are congruent. If the diagonal of the rectangle are congruent, then this sentence we convert into conditional form like this. If a quadrilateral is a rectangle, then diagonals are congruent. So see here, we have given a simple statement or simple sentence. You can convert it into conditional statement. How is converted? See here, you can use if and then, these two words. You use these two words and you find out the sentence. The sentence is called the conditional statement. So how you convert this? The diagonal of a rectangle are congruent. You can convert this sentence in the conditional form. So if a quadrilateral is rectangle, then the diagonals are congruent. So here we use if and then these two words, and then the simple statement becomes a conditional statement. Now next point we can study converse of the statement. So you remember antecedent and consequent. What is meant by antecedent? Antecedent, it means that the sentence containing if, and consequent, it means that the sentence containing then. So here, see here, if a quadrilateral is rectangle, then diagonals are congruent. This is the conditional statement. So you convert this conditional statement into converse. How we convert? First of all, you find out the definition. What is definition here? Converse statement. So see here, if the antecedent and consequent. See here, this is antecedent and this is consequent. If you consider here this sentence from if to this up to this sentence, this is called antecedent, and from then to this sentence is called the consequent. So if the antecedent and consequent in a given conditional statement are interchanged, it means that you first write the second sentence and then you write the first sentence. Means you interchange the consequent and antecedent, then this statement is called converse of the given statement. Do you understand? So it is very important for the proving the theorem. That purpose you can remember the converse of the statement. What is mean by converse of the statement? So see here, I will tell you one example. This is the conditional statement. Remember, not given here. If two sides of a triangle are congruent, then the angle opposite them are also congruent. This is the conditional statement. What we have given here? See here, if two sides. Now I will explain you with the help of example to the converse statement. Listen here. Example is that if two sides of a triangle are congruent, then angle opposite to them are congruent. This is the conditional statement. You convert it into the converse statement. How you convert? So listen here. If two angles of a triangle are congruent, then side opposite to them are congruent. It means that you only interchange antecedent and consequent. When you interchange, the conditional statement becomes converse statement. Now last topic of the chapter is proof. Proof, it means that the proof of the theorem. How can you prove the theorem? For that purpose, you know what is meant by theorem and what is meant by proof. So first of all, you understand what is meant by theorem. The definition of theorem is that a property is supposed to be true if it can be proved logically. It is then called the theorem. It means that we have given so many properties and that property is true, and when you prove that property logically, then it is called a theorem. Now go to proof. What is meant by proof? The definition is that the logical argument made to prove a theorem is called proof. So we have given the logical argument. It means that the statement, and that statement is logical, and when we prove that proof statement is called the proof. Now go to the there are two types of proofs. First one is direct proof and second one is indirect proof. Now we are going to study the proof of the theorem with the help of direct proof. So we have given here one theorem. The statement of theorem is that the opposite angle formed by two intersecting lines are equal measures. It means that we have given two lines like AB and line like CD. These two lines are intersect each other, and then there are two pairs of opposite angles are formed, and that pairs are congruent. One pair is AOB. This angle AOC is congruent to angle BOD, and second COB is congruent to AOD. It means that this one and this one, these are the opposite angles, and this is the pair of opposite angle. Similarly here, this one and this one, these two angles are opposite angles, and these are also congruent. So for the given statement you can draw the figure, and then from the statement you can write given and to prove. In the given statement, from the statement you can write given. Here from the figure, line AB and CD are intersecting at point O such that A dash O dash B and C dash O dash D. In this way these two lines are intersecting each other. Then what we prove here? Then we prove the opposite pair of opposite angles are congruent, like AOC is congruent to BOD, and second pair BOC is congruent to AOD. So now there is no any construction, hence we prove the theorem directly, hence it is called direct proof. From the figure you can see here angle AOC and COB or BOC, these two angles from his to this one and this one, these two angles sum is 180. Why 180? Because these two angles are in linear pair. Similarly, second pair BOC and angle BOD, this one and this one, 1 and 2, these two angles are also in linear pair, and their sum is 180. Therefore angle in linear pair. From 1 and 2, see here both the equations right hand side is same, 180 degree 180 degree. It means that if the two equations right hand side is equal, then left hand side is also equal. Hence we write here AOC plus angle BOC equal to angle BOC plus angle BOD. Here angle BOC both the side are equal angle, hence it will get cancelled. Remains only angle AOC equal to angle BOD. It means that we can prove the first statement, AOC is congruent to BOD. Similarly we can prove angle BOC is congruent to AOD. Now lastly we can solve the practice set 1.1. See here, practice set 1.1, not 1.1, practice set 1.3. This is the last practice set. Question number 1. Write the following statement in if then form. We have given 1, 2, 3 statements, and you can write the given statement if and then form. So the opposite angle of a parallelogram are congruent. This is the simple statement. You convert this statement into conditional statement. If then form, it means that the two words are contained in the sentence is called the conditional statement. So you write this statement in the form of conditional statement or if then form. So how can you write this sentence in the if then form? So listen here. If the quadrilateral is parallelogram, you write here answer. If the quadrilateral is parallelogram, then the opposite angles are congruent. This is the answer. How can you write? If the given quadrilateral is parallelogram, then opposite angles are congruent. Similarly, example number 2. The diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. This is also simple sentence. You convert it into conditional sentence or you use their if and then. So how can you write this example or this statement in if then form? So see here, same in the way of first. See here, the quadrilateral is rectangle. Answer is that the quadrilateral is rectangle, then the diagonals are congruent. If the quadrilateral is rectangle, then the diagonals are congruent. It means that if and then both the words are there. Similarly, last example. In isosceles triangle, the segment joining the vertex and the midpoint of the base is perpendicular to the base. This is the third example. You also write in the form of if then. If a triangle is isosceles, how can you write? If the triangle is isosceles, then the segment joining the vertex and the midpoint of the base is perpendicular to the base. So in this way you can write down the answers. And question number is also same type, very simple. You can solve it at home. Now your chapter first of the math second is completed. You solve the remaining question at home. Thank you.
आपले हक्काचे मराठी चॅनल रायगड ओवी न्यूज चॅनल सदैव आपल्यासोबत. रायगड ओवी न्यूज चॅनल नेहमी पाहत रहा, लाईक करा, सबस्क्राईब करा आणि बेल आयकॉनवर क्लिक करायला विसरू नका.